Have you ever wondered how ChatGPT processes and generates human-like text? I'm sure you did it. In this lesson, let's explore how ChatGPT works and what is the journey from your prompt to the response looks like. It all starts when you type in a prompt into an application called ChatGPT. And once you do that, it begins with the pre-processing this input text, where the original sequence of the text you provide is broken down into smaller pieces called tokens. These tokens are building blocks for understanding and generating a language. We have seen that in the earlier lessons. Once tokenized, this piece of information undergoes encoding. It's a process that transforms these tokens into numerical space. The numerical vectors, they represents the token in some mathematical form which the model can interpret and understand. And then this is fed back to the large language model. And as we know, ChatGPT is based on transformer-based architecture, which excels handling the sequence of data. These vectors are fed into the language model, which uses layers of attention and neural networks to analyze the context and relationship between them. In earlier lesson, we have already seen how these foundational models are trained on a very large corpus of data and then fine-tuned for a very specific task, such as question answering, summarization, etc. The set of activities that we users typically do with ChatGPT. So with the context understood, ChatGPT produces an output sequence. These are different versions of the output, and then it predicts the probability of each sequence of the output that it produces, and then it chooses the most likely response based on the higher. After generating a response internally, ChatGPT decodes this predicted sequence back into human readable text. Now this post-processing step ensures that the response maintains the coherence and relevance to the original prompt. That's why it's very important to construct the prompt in the right manner. So ChatGPT is not static. It continuously learns from the human input and learns to predict the next sentence better based on something called as human feedback. Summary, see the ChatGPT's ability to predict, to provide informative and contextually relevant responses. It's a product of complex machine learning processes which involves pre-processing your input to generating a sophisticated output. It is a shining example of AI's potential to interact with us in increasingly meaningful ways.